And not many teams in history have had their oldest pitcher be their best pitcher for 2 consecutive seasons. As Casey Stengel used to say, you can look it up. Adam Wainwright has been the best at age 39 and age 40. Wainwright's career has been distinctive, and almost all of his interviews have been memorable. We hope that will be the case for all of you tonight. Adam Wainwright is tonight's Cardinal Buick Sunday Conversation. Let's begin with something really serious. There are 40 million fantasy football league participants out there right now. How good a GM are you?
I mean, you can talk about things all you want to, but, it takes championships to back it up. And I have quite a few, Frank, Mr. Kuzia. I've got a few. I've got a bunch of leagues, but it's one of my favorite outlets. I love to do it. I love to play, and I love to trade. Trading is where the real fun is at.
Over 200 million people are on Twitter. You're one of them, and this weekend you had to take a Cincinnati Reds fan to task.
This guy particularly came at me with an attitude, and that's okay, but he didn't make any sense because he's a Reds fan and he was trying to troll me for being a Cardinals player, not being in the playoffs, and talking about how we didn't have success this year when we actually made the playoffs. We've actually won World Series in that guy's lifetime. We've actually, had lots of success in the postseason in the most, in the recent years. I mean, this didn't even make sense. So I was just making sure he was aware that he wasn't making any sense and that he needed to kind of come about himself a little bit.
Michael Wilbon, who is an eternal Cubs fan, said on national television recently that you are, quote, a slam dunk for the Hall of Fame. I don't know if you've heard that, but what's your reaction to that?
I like him. He seems like a smart guy, man. He seems like a really bright person. I need to tune in to more of his broadcast because I might be missing out on somebody who's clearly a genius in a mind of his, one of a kind for his job place. Not to saying that all media is not really smart, but he seems like he might be the smartest.
All right, let's talk about the manager situation. How did you hear of the news of Mike Shildt, and what was your reaction?
Mo called me and told me he was making a change, and you have to respect the decisions made and why they're being made, and the best thing for the organization was what was in mind. So, Schulte's a friend of mine. I thought he did a pretty good job. Honestly, he managed us, turned us from being the worst defensive baseball team in all of baseball, and he took that on as a priority when he kind of took over after another great friend of mine, Mike Matheny, who also did a great job. But managing in baseball is a tough business. There is, you could be everybody's favorite person in the whole town when you win one year, but then the next year when you lose a few games, you're the least favorite guy in the whole town. That's why I don't want to ever get into coaching, honestly, Kuzi, because I feel like people generally like me in St. Louis, and I don't want to give people reason to go to Grace Meat and 3 for dinner and, cuss out the pitching coach or whatever coach I might be.
Give me the one thing that jumps out at you about Ali.
Well, he gets along with a lot of different people. So he's a fluent in Spanish, obviously. He's Dominican Republic, family raised, and so he gets along with that and can communicate really well with both sides, with the English-speaking guys and the Spanish-speaking guys, which is that's a big thing in our game, especially with, 35 or 40% of players now are Spanish-speaking players. But solid believer, Christian guy who he and I relate on and off the field in a really strong way. So there's going to be a lot of people that really relate to Oliver well. He communicates well.
You and Yadi need 20 starts together to break the all-time record set by Mickey Lolich and Bill Freehan. Where do you think that record will sit with you in terms of all the things you've accomplished?
I think when you think about baseball, it's been played for so long and so many players have played it. So many legends of the game have played it. If you can get any kind of all-time record right now in today's game, that's a pretty big deal. So I'm just, blessed to be able to throw as many games as I have, pitch as many games as I have to Yadi But if we can break that record, that's something we can always, always, always talk about, and something we'll always have, because I'll be honest, I don't think anybody ever is going to break that record again.
So it's been an incredible marriage with you two, but like in all great marriages, there's conflicts. Give me one story where you got on him or he got on you, or what do you razz each other about?
I'll tell you this one time, 2019, I believe it was. I was kind of grinding through a game where we were just, I didn't have my best stuff, but we were finding a way. I was like the 5th or the 6th inning, and Yadi starts to come out and walk out to see me. And he and I had been trying to make a trade in fantasy football for a few weeks. So he comes out to the mound and he says, "Hey, what do you think about trading me Tyreek Hills?" And it kind of caught me off guard. And I was like, "No, I'm not trading you Tyreek Hill. No, it's not going to happen. He's on my team." And he goes, "Oh, okay, let's get this guy right here." And he turned around and walked back to the catcher's plate. And he just put me right at ease, and he kind of got me back on the offensive.
So on this DH issue, we know about your hitting prowess. You hit 262 one season, you have 10 career home runs, but it looks like it's coming. But are you going to try to petition union reps to stop this thing, because we know you want to hit?
I'll stay ready, and I got to steal a base too, Kuzi. That's my big thing that's coming up. I got to steal a base. I've never had a stolen base in my whole career. The union and the Major League Baseball, it's not exactly like they come together on too many things. So we'll see. Everybody wants the DH, the universal DH, apparently. So we'll see how it goes.